Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Music Meltdown. We're on the Albums of the Year series. We've made it to 1995. This is a pretty good year. There's a lot of records here that I like a decent bit. Rich, how you feeling? How are you thinking about 95?
95 is a killer year for music. Um, Briefly, as far as myself goes, I got my shit together, hopped on a plane to Orange County, California, and got into inpatient rehab and basically started a new life over out there. And it was pretty good. But I think music is just killer this year.
Nice. I figure I'll kick this one off. I don't have too much crazy to say about a lot of these. I'll just kick into some honorable mentions. First up, Cloud's Taste Metallic, Flaming Lips. Love a lot of Flaming Lips records. I'm not as in love with this one, but I still think it's great. So it is what it is. Next up, an artist I know that you're head over heels for. Got two of them. Elliott Smith's self-titled. I think that's just a fantastic, really sort of stripped back acoustic release from him. Then you got Life by the Cardigans. It's just more of Emmerdale, and I absolutely adore Emmerdale. So there you go. Maybe a bit of a surprise making an albums list, but just missing as well Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette. I think the singles, of course, they're outstanding, but the deep cuts are really good on it too, and she's just got a killer voice. Really, the only record of hers front to back that I think is really worth a damn. And I got AM by Wilco, just a really strong alt country affair from the band. And then just missing is going to be The Bends by Radiohead. On to my top five, which I'm looking at it now and is predominantly female led, so that's cool. My fifth spot, I got to Bring You My Love, PJ Harvey. Probably my second favorite PJ Harvey record. She's just a tremendous talent. I love sort of the experimentation, how sort of out there her vocals are on here. And just like the title track alone, I think is outstanding. But it's just a really interesting sort of crossroads between her earlier, sort of like slightly grungier stuff compared to where she's at now, where it's a bit more brooding, a bit more sort of melancholic. I think it's really interesting. Going up from there, I got Post by Björk. Not going to say too much because I did do a video on Björk a decent bit ago at this point, but I just think that this is a clear step up from debut. It's one of her best overall projects, and it's also quiet. Her big band number is probably her best song, in my opinion. Maybe a bit of a surprise here, but I'm going Tiger Lily by Natalie Merchant next up. I'm a pretty big fan of 10,000 Maniacs and adjacently uh, Natalie Merchant. I think this is just a really, really beautiful, really lush sort of record from her. Her voice soars across it, and these are just really, really great tracks. My favorite of which probably being Cowboy Romance, just a really solid release. Next up, I got my favorite Prince record, The Gold Experience. I think it's just banger after banger, just as you keep going. Tracks like Pussy Control, you got Gold on here. It's just loaded with some of my favorite stuff that he ever did. And it's just a real funky sort of just masterpiece of what he goes for. But my winner, going into the lame stuff of the 90s, that I like a lot. Alt country territory with my favorite record being Trace by Sunvolt. I think for me, this is just sort of the culmination of the alt country movement in itself. Obviously, this band is led by Jay Farrar, formerly of Uncle Tupelo, and I think that he has one of the best voices, and not even just alt country and country in general. I think he's got a real rock prowess and power to him, while still having this really great somberness and sort of way to convey a track. Probably the best example of that would be something like Tear Stained Eye or 10 Second News, but it's got some great sort of country rock across here, just some really fun, not really fun necessarily, but just some really laid out tracks. And it's just a really great experience front to back. I think it's a pretty great record. Trace by Sunvolt taking the year for me.
All right, very cool. I like a lot of that stuff. Um, all right, well, my 1995. By the way, most of my 90s picks are kind of skewed towards nostalgia. That's just kind of the angle that I went with, thinking about what I was into back in the day. But yeah, my honorable mentions, they're so fucking stacked. It's just amazing that none of these made it to the top five. But I've got Garbage, the self-titled, To Bring You My Love, like you mentioned, PJ Harvey, The Bins, Radiohead. How is that not in my top five? Happy Days by Catherine Wheel. You know I'm crazy about that. South Park Grammar by Morrissey, just missing. That's my favorite Morrissey album. So my number five, much to your chagrin, I've got One Hot Minute by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Sorry. This is the album they did with Dave Navarro of Jane's Addiction. Some heavy stuff here and funky as fuck. There's an incredibly wide range of songs here. They sound so different from one another, but work together nicely. Incredible stuff. My number four is Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness by Smashing Pumpkins. A sprawling masterpiece, another one with tremendous diversity. If you don't like Corgan's voice, I get it, but I love his voice. And just loaded with great songs, a landmark album. Number three, I'm going with The Rapture by Susie and the Banshees. I got my Susie shirt here. Uh, the Banshees' Last Hurrah. This is a bit of a tale of two sides. It starts off with some songs in the alt pop vein of their previous album, Superstition, but then gets really good with when some classic Banshees darkness seeps in. Yet another album with intriguing variations. It contains my favorite Banshees song ever, the last track, Love Out Me, which is absolutely stunning, maybe the heaviest song they ever did. All right, my number two is University by Throwing Muses. And here we have another one of my favorite bands. This is probably their best, most consistent album. I love Kristen Hirsch's voice, guitar playing, lyrics. It's just top notch alternative rock. But my number one has got to be Max and Quay by Tricky. For me, this is the ultimate trip hop album. So dark, sensuous, and sexy. With a little programming, this album is perfect for a night of intimacy. Legendary for a reason. My number one.
I haven't heard it. It's probably all right. I will say I prefer many of those honorable mentions to what made the list.
I
Fucking
understand. I
Chili
understand.
Peppers and I mean Susie. I know you love Susie, but like the Rapture. Nah, I won't poke that much fun. These records mean a lot to you. More power to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a really solid, consistent year overall. I have like a ton to say there. It's just good.
Yeah. I mean, I think the 90s are pretty strong, but this is one of the strongest years, I'd have to say.
I'd agree with that. That being said, what were some of your favorite records of the 90s? Put them down below. Say how bad some of our picks were. That being said, I hope that you all have a good one and bye.